Hello everyone, welcome back to my channel. I've been gone for a very long time. Life happened and hopefully I'm coming back with more depth and wisdom that's coming from this life experience I've been through, and it will be so reflected in your readings. So here I go, I'm coming back with a pick a card reading. You have three options here. The first one is a malachite stone ring. I'm not sure if you can see it very well with this camera. It's a beautiful green stone. The second one is well, I don't really know what these stones are, but I always like this ring because it looks a lot like planets on orbit and stuff. And the third option is a ruby ring. All right, so I hope you can see it. It has also very beautiful hues of a lighter and darker pink. So yeah, take your time, stop the recording if you need to see which one of these attract you the most, and then fast forward to your reading. See you soon. So for those of you that chose the malachite stone ring, here we go with your reading. I'll just put it over here. However, it stays. Doesn't really stay, but oh well, we'll see. So let's first pick a oracle card from the Rumi deck and see what is the theme of your reading. Okay, so here we go. You have Blessings of Zara. It's really interesting because it has the same green hues just like the ring. There, I'm gonna try to bring the ring closer. You see, like the ring really has these hues of darker and brighter green, and so does the card. I associate the green mainly with the heart. So also the malachite is a stone that talks about the heart chakra and emotional healing. Let's see, can you see? Yes, you can. And yeah, I would assume, I would guess that you may be dealing with a lot of emotions that aren't necessarily easy to cope with, and that you've been working on bringing healing to that. Now let's see what archetypes comes forth throughout this reading. The Dead End, it's called. All right, I'm gonna read it for you. But yeah, just out of the bat, I feel like you're dealing with a heartbreak, right? Like you've been in a relationship and you've been really trying your best to leave it from the heart and to be in your kindest, purest space, to come into this connection from your kindest space, your best self. But somehow you're reaching this dead end, and it's not easy, of course. It's not easy to leave something behind where it feels like you've put in so much effort. But yeah, well, sometimes we can't control these things. You know, people come into our life and they leave for We can only journey together for as long as we can. We can't control other people's emotions or reactions. We sometimes can't control our own reactions, let alone other people's reaction. I'm going to pull out another archetype card to see what is the second archetype coming up. And after that, I'm going to read them. The River. There's a reflection of a horse here and a lot of green again. You see the green? There's also some red and some yellow and some purple clouds here. There's some purple over there too in the first oracle card. River, of course, it gets me to the whole point of emotions again. There's a lot of emotions happening, of course. You may feel so much pain, and this dead end is not easy to accept. Yet the journey now is moving forward with this heart healing. And also look at where is the pain coming from? What is the story that you've experienced right now? Is it a similar story as you've experienced before, or is it the first time you're having this type of pain? Because sometimes the people that come into our lives, they open wounds that already existed, and yeah, sometimes it can create new ones too. There's no rule over there. But it can definitely be that, cruel as it sounds, we are only able to heal these wounds when we are having them open, and when we are able to witness the story being told behind. That's when we can bring real compassion and the kindness to the parts of us that we've been buried because of the pain. Yeah, but let's go with it. You have the blessings of Zara. That's number 39. I'm gonna read a little bit of that. It's a really long read, so I'm gonna read the poem from Rumi for you. And it says, let go of thought, don't take it into your heart. You are naked and thought is like ice. You use thought to seek release from suffering and pain, while thought is the cause of your suffering and pain. The realm of creation is outside the scope of thought. O foolish one, see the opus and behold the beauty. Look in the direction from which the images flow. See the brook that causes the wheel to turn. Rumi. Well, that's really interesting because, yeah, of course, oftentimes we're so stuck in our minds trying to solve the pain. We're analyzing it. We're pushing. We're bringing it all sides. We brood on it, and it doesn't help. It makes it worse, as this poem says. So when we are hungry, we reach for what food is available. If we are starving, we may gorge upon what is before us, only to find ourselves overfed, undernourished, and in a most uncomfortable and dissatisfied state. Your soul needs better quality food. It has been detoxing. You have been shedding old thoughts, feelings, pains, and struggles. Here's the malachite and this whole green coming through. Memories of the past have been flooding out of your soul, like parasites being expunged. And now your soul, thus cleansed, is in need of genuine nourishment to restore it to full radiance and vitality. Love will feed your hungry soul. Nothing less shall suffice. No sweet-talking charmer hell-bent on seducing and moving on will make the grade. No. It has to be nothing less than genuine romancing by the great beloved to feed, comfort, and nurse you into radiance. Okay. So this oracle comes with special guidance for you. You are being given the blessing of Zara, of radiance, of brightness. This blessing has a purpose. It is to clear out that which would obstruct your full unfoldment, to support the divine jewel of your soul in shining. You are being given an opportunity, supported by life, by the earth, by the grace of divine beloved, to shed toxins from your being. These may be physical, and they may be equally of emotional, psychic, or psychological origin. They may come from this or another lifetime. You may understand consciously what is being released, or you may not. If you are sensitive, you may feel symptoms of detoxification at a physical level, even if what you are releasing is emotional or psychological in nature. If you've been feeling unwell or struggling to let go of an issue, this oracle comes as a portent of imminent healing back to good health and of release of the issue into resolution and divine radiance. It is only a matter of timing, and that timing is imminent. This oracle also brings you the message that if something appears to be leaving your life, even something painful to release, it is because it is no longer healthy for you, no longer supporting of life for you. There is something more loving and beautiful awaiting. Do not try to feast upon scraps. Stop scraping in the dirt for stale breadcrumbs. Rise up and move towards the seat at the heavenly table gleaming before you, for a greater feast awaits your attendance. Yeah, well, if this is indeed a relationship that you're letting go, it's really clear that it's painful and that you're going to release a lot right now of the psychological nature, of emotional nature. And it's not an easy time. Let's go through these other two as well to go a little bit deeper. So that's a 30, no, XL. That's 40, right? I never know. So the dead end is keywords. You have the closed door, the final chapter, the impasse. Contrary to what its name implies, the dead end is very much alive. It is a force that stops us from moving forward as planned. It is thick, dense, uncompromising, a wall beyond all walls. With every bramble, thorn and stone, it simply states, "No more, child, you have reached the last page of this chapter." It is natural to resist its very resistance and struggle even harder to make our way, to prove our point, to hold on to what was. In this way we fight with life itself. From a mythic perspective, the end you face is very much a beginning. There are doors opening all around you, just not the one you planned on walking through. If you are honest and courageous enough to accept, adjust and adapt, the dead end becomes known as life's beginning. So when light, it brings acceptance, humility, relief, reverence for change. And when dark, it brings inertia, stuckness, tension, unconscious gripping. So, yeah, of course, this can apply also to other areas of your life. It doesn't necessarily have to be a relationship. It could be a job that you're letting go of, a lifestyle, living in another country. Like, or maybe you wanted to make a life in a city or in a country, and you realize that place isn't really what you need. It's not good for you. So you may have to face the choice of moving on and going either back where you came from, or going somewhere else, moving forward, moving to another dimension. I was about to say, it sounds a little bit out there, but yeah, going to another place. And but yeah, my hunch is still on the relationship mostly. If it is indeed a relationship that you're moving away from, yeah, well, these cards are stating quite clearly it's not easy, and you are very, what you're experiencing is very normal. It's truly normal to have this resistance. It's truly normal to feel the symptoms of this pain and to freak out maybe. Yeah, but let's see what the river says. The river is the stream, the flow, the current. There is a reason so many rituals of change and rebirth take place in the river. It is forgiveness embodied in physical form. Forgiveness embodied in physical form. Beautiful. Without asking anything in return, the river washes away what is no longer necessary, smoothing over sharp edges and accepting all our mistakes and grievances. Once we step in, we are no longer in control. The river carries us farther down the stream of transformation that we plan to go. Its waters have a special gift for reflecting back to us a new and dreamlike vision. Once the tears have passed, we see ourselves as we haven't before, with a little more lightness, grace, and fluidity. Keep in mind the you that stands within the river is the real you, full of deep emotion and potential, nothing to hide, nothing to judge. May you drink in the sight of your true self. When light brings acceptance, grace, reflection, and forgiveness. When dark, it's a torment of emotions, flooding and overwhelm. Yeah, it's an amazing synchronicity how these cards actually came together. I'm gonna pull out some tarot as well to get some guidance for what can we do with that right now. But well, from what I hear here, it's most important to accept, right? Like accept that this is happening, accept that you can't control it. And also, even in the midst of this pain, it's not very easy to look beyond this ending and see a new beginning. Just sit for a second with this information that it really is a new beginning, and sometimes that end comes for a very particular reason, because that could have been whatever it is that you're hoping to hold on to, the relationship, the person, the job, the space, the whatever. It was not healthy for you. It was leading towards a toxic exchange or energy, and you're being given a grace by having this walk put in front of you and being guided in a different direction. So I believe it is really important to cry the tears, to allow yourself to feel the pain, to witness also the mind's insistence on the mind's insistence on holding on to this, and then the analysis, because this actually makes a good point there with the forgiveness. Sometimes we overthink about what the other person did or did not, and we can spend days and weeks and intense moments and hours replaying in our mind scenarios and wondering how could have they done what they've done or not have done what they've done. And alternatively, we go in the other direction. How could I have done things differently? Why didn't I do it like this? Why didn't I do it like that? Have I made mistakes here? I shouldn't have made that. I shouldn't have said that. Things like this, and we really, it's really painful. We have the capacity every once in a while when we notice ourselves doing this to bring kindness to this process, to bring forgiveness to ourselves. And instead of feeding into the story of what I just mentioned, to come back into the present and to nurture oneself with, like this card says, with the nourishment that comes from a more a wider perspective, whether you believe in the divine or God or the universal consciousness or the power of your soul, your enlightened beings, angels, whatever it is that you can connect to, that is beyond your ego self, beyond the part of yourself that sees things very limited, with a limited what's it called, array, it doesn't matter. it is important to look beyond that and really trust that there's something else beyond this. It will get better, and you are going to integrate this, and this will pass. The river is now just passing through you right now, and the more you let go, the more you accept what's happening in your life right now, the easier it will get. It won't take the pain away right away. It will. It's a process. But rather than the more we get stuck, the more we can hold on to what we hoped, the dream, the idea, the vision, the more intense this process will be, and the harder we'll get. All right, let's see what's in the recent past that's influencing this. Have you seen that? Okay, let's take it. Yep, heartbreak. Okay, let me adjust this a little bit. Hope you can see. So there's heartbreak in the recent past that's influencing this. Well, it's a general reading. If it's not your reading, then it's not your reading. It's it's fine. Just pick another deck, or maybe this is just not your call. But this seems to go more and more towards a relationship and then heartbreak, right? It's crystal clear. What now? What's happening right now? Yes, I'm sorry, my love. You're feeling really stuck. Your mind, as the first card was stating, you find yourself really, really trapped in your mind and obsessing, and it's not an easy place to be. And as the card also states, we use thought to seek relief from pain, but thought is like ice. It's just gonna create more pain and more suffering. There's and you see also the red here, there's a guidance that comes always with this card, which is to try to get out of the mind and get into the body. And that can mean through movement, through exercise, through mindfulness, through body scans, through just walking barefoot, or giving yourself a foot massage, feeling textures, anything that can interrupt a little bit the story. Counting colors, or these kind of things that are just engaging a very, very mechanical side of the mind, and not allow yourself to drift into the story and identify with the story. All right, and what's happening in the near future for you? The Knight of Wands. The Knight of Wands, can be read in many, many ways, but the way I see it here, it's a spiritual growth. The Wands, the talk a lot about spirituality, about passion, about beliefs, and I think with the Knight of Wands here, you're experiencing a growth that it's really pushing the boundaries of your perception of the world and of yourself and of love and what it means to be in a relationship, what it means to let go. Sometimes we believe that relationships needs to last forever, and God forbid, like in that moment that we're really in love, of course we want that moment to last forever. Unfortunately, life doesn't function like that. And even if some relationships do last a lifetime, it comes with a lot of heartbreak on the way, and with healing of that, and two people can grow together, or a couple, or whatever, how many people want to be in that relationship. But but it also can grow apart, and we are going to experience pain whether we like it or not, whether stemming from relationship, from our expectations, from getting stuck in certain mindsets or in certain trauma responses that we are unable to solve in the moment. The key is to not expect this like unrealistic life with no pain. It's to allow healing, allow the river to move you, allow the emotions to flow through you, to change the narrative, as this world, your world expands in a way, your experience of the world expands. You grow. We grow. We all grow through experiences. We can't expect to get stuck in one way of living or in one way of being. All right, let's see what can help right now. What as an advice? What advice do you have for pile number 1? Son of Pentacles. Yes, Son of Pentacles tells you yet again that grounding yourself, staying really focused on routines. Of course, when we're going through heartbreak, we can be a wreck. We can stop eating, stop sleeping, not care much about laundry or anything else. But then we get stuck in these emotional waves and in the stories of the mind. And sometimes, even though it might not be the first thing comes to mind, like really immersing oneself in this mindfully in these daily activities and routines may be really the lifesaver. All right, so that's all I have for you, pile number 1. Have faith that this will pass. This is not gonna last forever. I know it can feel like that right now, and I know we have a lot of resistance when we're not ready to let go of something, but it will pass. It will get better, I promise. And I have a lot of compassion, and I empathize a lot with what you're feeling right now, and with all these states. There's nothing shameful about this. And it will take a bit. It will take a bit. Don't expect yourself to get over it tomorrow, but it will get better. All right. Thank you for being here. Subscribe, like, the drill. If you feel like you resonated, feel free to also comment on the way it resonated for you, and I wish you all the best. Bye. So, for those of you that chose this planets-like ring, hello, this is your reading. I'll leave it over here. Yeah, let's see. I'm gonna pull up first a Rumi Oracle card. And let's see what's coming out as your theme. Well, that was quick. And it says, from nothing to everything. And look at the imagery. I see a wave right here. There's like just a wave in the sea. And I'm not really sure what that is, but it's beautiful, in my opinion. Now, let's see. Put that over there. I'm gonna read it for you in a bit. I want to pull out 2 archetype cards first. Let's see what archetypes show up for you. From nothing to everything. So it feels like a big change is coming, right? And it may come very sudden, and you may have waited for a long time for something to happen in your life, or maybe you've been investing a lot of time in something, and it feels like there's no progress, like nothing's moving on, and yet it can suddenly everything can change in a second. Yeah, let's see what the archetypes are showing up. Oh, we have two already. So we have the shaman and the bardo. I don't even know what the bardo is, but we will see. So just look at the imagery for a bit. That's really beautiful. This looks like an iris, like an eye, right? But there's all these skulls over there. And there's some skulls over here too. Yeah, it seems to be like a huge transformation going on. And you may experience all kinds of weird things. Maybe you've had some... maybe you felt presences, or you connected to in dreams with other realms, and it can feel really distressing, or maybe you're used to it. Maybe that's what you do. Maybe that's your gig. I don't know. Maybe somebody recently passed, and you're experiencing the loss of that, and also some very huge shifts within yourself as you're coping with that loss. But I think that can be for some of you, of course, but not for everyone. All right, let's read. Let's read first the poem from Rumi. What number is that? I don't see it anymore. I think that's 16. Yeah, from nothing to everything. So the poem from Rumi says, "Oh, my friend, if you are longing to be written on, become a blank page." Ooh, okay. So you're being encouraged to really shed off some skins here. And I keep thinking about the death card, you know, like there's a change, a radical change that's happening, but that requires for you to also to allow for this change to take place. There's an introduction here. I usually don't read that because it's really a very long read, but I really feel compelled to read it right now. So, have you been shedding your skins, your layers, your certainties? Gone are the fixed identities and definite opinions. Keep casting those shackles aside, even if you fear you are releasing too much, and then perhaps you shall cease to exist. You shall only cease to exist as you have known yourself to be thus far. Another emanation of you awaits, blazing angel. Something more beautiful and true. Okay, let's go into the meaning of the card. So there are moments on the path of love that seem to focus on letting go of identities, of knowledge and certainty, of opinion, and even attempts at control. We may feel as though we are being stripped back to our core, and even then perhaps further still. We may wonder if we can bear it. What shall, if at all, remain intact through these rigors? We may feel challenged every time we attempt to become something great, as though we are blocked by circumstances beyond our control. Again and again, it is as though a greater hand smacks our wrists. The moment we are trying to take hold of something firmly, someone, anything that brings us certainty or inner stability. Such are the rigors at an advanced stage of the path. We meet this challenge when our soul is ready for it. Why must it be thus? This is a sage question indeed. When we are asked to dispense with our story, the interpretations we have given to our life experiences over the years, we may not hear the request at first. We may vaguely note, but not recognize the great divine source asking this of us. And so we do not give such inclination due accord. We may persist with spinning our own tales instead, or our minds may fancy itself to be quite a storyteller, impressed with its own judgments and declarations. Yet in the light of comparison with the divine tale of our soul, All our fancies shall pass away, revealed as so very frail, like clouds dissipating in the sky. Perhaps we are graced with the realization there is so much more. Or perhaps we still don't get the hint and move into struggle as we try to enact what we think our story should be. We may hit obstacle after obstacle and create even more terror in our storytelling, that life is such pain, a struggle, that success may not be for us, that we are forgotten and unheard. Yet we could equally choose to wonder if obstacle after obstacle, closed door after closed door, is just a prompt to look for the open window to climb through. And if so, instead of seeking to impose our small story upon the great truth, we can live the truth of our divine destiny. Then something magical happens. We participate through presence along with the unfolding story of our soul journey. We open up to whatever is asked of us, presented to us, happening through us, as we choose each day to come alive as much as we can. Then, as if by magic, there is something else that occurs. That will be grace. Real, rich, dripping with goodness and sustenance grace. This is the sacred blessing that enables us to pay attention to opening doors rather than closing ones. The divine assistance that lets us know our life is proceeding according to a greater intelligence and plan. Once we stop thinking quite so much and live day to day, we'll be blessed with the realization that our individual life story is so much more extraordinary and perfect than anything we could have summoned, even with our wildest imagination. So here is your guidance. You are being asked to let go, to receive, to become empty so you can be filled. This may mean letting go of an attachment to a lover so you can receive genuine love. It may be of no longer holding on to a fantasy of your dream job, but being guided into your most soulful and successful vocation. It may mean letting go of wishes for your body or health to be other than it is, so you can simply get on with living each day, taking steps into wellness without thinking beyond one day at a time. It is the divine paradox that when we are asked to surrender a story or fantasy, it is because reality is knocking at our door more often than not with the delivery of what we have been fantasizing about, but in the best way for us. The human experience of this paradox is that you may feel you are giving up hope, that your fantasy is dying. It may be very painful and bring you much grief, but all that is dying is your attachment and opinion about how it must be. This needs to happen so you can stop dreaming and start living it. This is what is happening for you now. Do not fear any part of your process. Embrace it without expectation and trust in your heart that the divine is simply guiding you from fantasy into fulfillment. Okay, I read it all. That's a lot. But I feel like actually it gives a very clear image of what is going on for you right now, and how it also validates the pain you may be feeling throughout this process, right? It's definitely not easy to let go of our ideas about how things should be, about our expectations from ourselves, from life, from others. And we can spin our stories and get like really confused sometimes. We want things to be in a certain way, they're not in this certain way. We're projecting, we are reflecting, we are it can get wild, and it can get painful, and we can get unsure, am I doing something wrong? You're not doing anything wrong. This is the one thing that is clear. You're going through a process that is painful in itself, and it takes a little bit of time and intention to let go, to really let go of it. I'm gonna read the Shaman and the Bardo. Shaman, that's 16 again. So, the shaman. It's the mage, the sorcerer, the medicine woman. 3 archetypal ingredients constitute the shaman, and all must be present in order to reveal its magic. First, the shaman is activated by long-standing and diligent study. That's the archetype of the mentor. Second, its orientation is generously and accurately aimed towards the healing of the self, the other, and the culture. And that's the archetype of the healer. And third, the shaman has a knack for finding doorways to the other world, allowing psychic visions and old magic to leak into this world. And that's the archetype of the unseen. In this way, the shaman is a master who bridges the everyday and the sacred, revealing potent power needed desperately in our time. Yet, where there is power, there is shadow. So the shaman must be vigilant and studying their darkness. This card reminds us that the force of healing is ultimately not our own. We must shape it and share it with the world. When light, it reveals fearless student and practitioner. When dark, it can reveal over-promises, blames, hurts self and others. It's interesting how this card appears here with this theme that you have from the Rumi Oracle. This letting go can really shape you into allowing these archetypes to come through. You know, the student, the healer, and the unseen. And it may open you to everything, like not from nothing, from what it feels right now. Like there's so, you kind of just skinning yourself again and again and again until there's probably nothing left. That's when you're like scooping a jewel, you know, and you're getting this is your studying part. And then it comes the wisdom from the healing part, where you can heal yourself. Okay, let's go to this. L means 44, I don't know. So the bardo, it means the liminal, the in-between, and the transition. Fascinating. It is said that the bardo is a place between this life and the next, a liminal realm through which souls pass. Envisioning this inherently mysterious space creates the potential for us to rise above the concerns of this world and see our relationships through a cosmic and timeless lens. We may receive messages from those who are no longer with us, or see visions of lives not yet lived. In the bardo, there is a potential to forgive the unforgivable, to say the unsaid, to see the unseen again. It was the third archetype that was contained in the shaman, right? Sorry. To see the unseen. To love the unloved. To let go of all the things that cause us pain. The bardo suspends us in its spaciousness for just long enough to open up to higher wisdom. Its energy does not belong to Earth as we know it, but rather to the cosmic network of which we are a single thread. When light means spaciousness, grace, forgiveness, truth. When dark, torment, dislocation, hallucination, and transience. Yeah, it seems like it is a very profound change that you're going through. And it may feel really, really dark. It can feel tormented. It can feel like very unsafe. You don't know what's going on. You have no clue. There's maybe also stepping into dimensions that you aren't familiar with and have very different experiences in your waking life, in your suffering, in your moment of agony. Then things can shift and happen. But there's a huge window opening where that grace can come through and forgiveness can take place of things that maybe you weren't able to forgive before. It's a very potent time, but it's also very painful. What's with all this pain? The pile number 1 was also going through a lot of pain. Okay, let's see what's happened in the recent past that's influencing this situation right now. Right, the Five of Pentacles. The Five of Pentacles is feeling rejected, feeling all alone. It's a feeling of being cut off from the tribe, from the rest. You see, like these two people here, they're walking in the snow barefoot, they're crippled, and there's a lot of pain in this experience, right? Feeling let down, feeling as if there's no one there with you. It's feeling abandoned. That's pretty much what it feels, feeling isolated and it may be in a very real sense, because this is Pentacles. It may be that something really happened. It's not just my emotional experience that I feel abandoned. Maybe it's literally happening that you find yourself alone, that people in your life did not show up for you when you needed it, that maybe you're going through financial difficulties, that maybe you're going through lost your job, or separation, or looking for help in a very practical way, through hospitals, through doctors, through counselors, and not receiving that. And it can definitely bring in this feeling of we are really at the nothing, at the place of nothing. We're here right now. We have nothing. It feels like nothing's worth it anymore to put your energy in, because it feels so isolated. Let's see what's the current energy. I have a lot of empathy for this. I mean, I've been in this place quite a few times, and it really hurts. It really hurts. It's really painful. So, what now? Now justice will come. Justice is a karmic card. It always talks about you see, the columns usually signify a connection with the divine. And I think it's that place of grace where you start balancing out this fears, doubts, expectations, life experience that brings so much pain. And you're opening yourself up to this very new dimension that you are just about to explore. Also, it's a 11, and that means that a cycle from 1 to 10 took place, and there's a shift. There's a moving forward. And also there's a sword there, and it symbolizes the mind. So maybe you get clarity on some aspects of yourself, on a way to heal from this experience, and know that the wheel is turning. You know, this is not going to be like this forever. Also, this looks like a wheel a little bit. Let's see what's coming in the near future. There is the Two of Cups. Well, it could be a person, a friend, a connection of sorts, that you feel heard, you feel understood, you feel seen, you feel comforted by. Could be a loving connection as well, but I usually don't like to put too much emphasis on that, because then we can sit there expecting for the universe to bring somebody in my world today or this month or something like that. And that can be not very healthy. I prefer to look at these cards when they appear like this as an opportunity for connection, yes, but can be also an internal connection, can be different sides, different aspects of ourselves getting in connection with each other, and being able to, connect the dots and start seeing those new opportunities, start seeing the opening doors rather than closed ones, even though those doors sometimes can open realms that maybe you're not very familiar with. But there is some growth happening here, and a balance. You see, there's also the scale here with justice. There's an emotional balance coming in the near future for you, that you will finally feel maybe this breakthrough that this card is speaking about. It's a breakthrough from feeling this pain, that we have to let go of something, that we have to really close a chapter, not pursue certain stories, and not feeling also, I mean, of course we feel let down if, as the card says, every time I'm trying to hold on to something, then it's like it magically disappears. And we start feeling cursed and like being punished, like something is wrong. What am I doing wrong? Why everything that I'm trying to create some stability with is taken away? But that's where this deeper shift happens, where it's not so much about these stories anymore, when we're letting go of the story and identities whatsoever, and we're really opening ourselves up for whatever it is to come. And what it is to come may be confusing, but it could also have immense potential. Okay, I'm going to ask also some advice. What is the advice for part number 2? The devil. It's funny how the devil is depicted in this deck with the feet on fire. I forgot what these are called in English. Yeah. The devil as advice usually means, well, it can mean a number of things. It can mean to look a little bit into the shadow aspect. And like this card also says, it's really important for the shaman, in order to master, in order to be able to bring real healing for oneself and the world. And to communicate with these different realms that have so much potent energy, to look into our own shadows so that we don't get caught in our hopes or fears and that come from this ego perspective. I want my career to be exactly this. I want to look in a certain way. I want to be with this particular person, and if things are not like this, then I don't want anything. Or that's easier to say than to do, of course, because the whole world conditions us to have dreams, to visualize, to manifest, to think exactly what your life wants to look like, what you want your life to look like, and then to work with it and reach those goals. And these cards say the exact opposite. Say, hey, let go of any expectations. You've reached that point on your path where you need to dispense of your identities, dreams, hopes, and everything, and open up to what life brings for you from a deeper space, that it has nothing to do with your perception of the ego. That's just like a child. The ego doesn't understand further, so can't know what to wish for, what to hope for. So yeah, look. Maybe a little bit of shadow work is important right now, and the way we do shadow work, it's also counterintuitive, because we have the feeling that we have to fight the dragon. No, we need to bring kindness and forgiveness to the parts of ourselves that are holding on to, gripping onto something that maybe ran its course, whether it's a relationship or a job or whatever, life view, expectations. It's to allow ourselves to see this, and to bring real kindness, like having a conversation with these parts of ourselves as if they were 5-year-old kids that just don't get it. So we bring love and comfort, and we gently start bringing this reparenting style of like education. Hey, I understand you wanted this so badly, but this is not in your control. Breathe with it, be with it, cry the tears, and things will start shifting, and that grace and forgiveness will make wonderful changes for you. The devil could also speak about maybe enjoy life a little bit. Maybe go to that party, have some fun somehow. All right. Well, I hope this reading resonated. If it did, please like, share, subscribe, and I'll see you here soon. I wish you all the best on this journey. I know it's not easy, and yeah, all the best. So, for those of you that chose the ruby ring, just welcome to your reading. I'm gonna put it right here. Yeah, ruby. Maybe you are in a place where you can benefit from a lot of grounded energy, spending time in nature, connecting to your body. But first, let's see what the Ruby Oracle has to say. What is the theme for you? I also read, like the first reading also had exactly the card that popped out had the same color with the ring. So this card says passion for purpose. It's the exact color, honestly. I don't really know if you can see it clearly, but it's not really red. It's kind of red, but it's a pinkish red. And it's the same hues, like this one gets brighter and darker, just the same here. All right. Beautiful synchronicity. Let's see. A bit far. No, come on. You can. Oh well. But I want to see the ring. There you go. And I don't see anything. There you go. All right. I'm going to pull out also 2 archetype cards. Let's see what archetypes are showing up for you. These archetypes can be channeled by you, or they present themselves to you as guides. All right, let's see. The first one is the Venom. Ooh la la. Okay. We'll see what that's about. Passion for purpose and the Venom. Okay. And what's the second archetype? Oh, this came out for the other one, for pile number 2. So this one's called the Bardo. All right. It may be that you're really in pursuing your life purpose right now, trying to figure out what is it that you want. How do you want to spend your life? How do you want to spend your time? What is your passion? How can you use your passions to make a living out of them, perhaps? And there may be a lot of resistance. Maybe like the ideas that come to you can be a little bit crazy. Oh, I want to be a medium, or oh, I want to be a tarot reader, or I want to be an astronaut. And there's this part of you that won't really allow yourself to dream even, and would bully you into this is not possible. And this may be an internalized aspect of yourself that's been coming from family, from the way you were raised, from cultural conditioning, that's telling us like, don't pursue any dreams like this, because you will get lost and you will be hungry and you won't survive. Let's read first what is the Rumi Oracle saying. That is a number 2. Almost there. So first of all, the poem from Rumi says, love, like life, flows through the heart. Feel the thrill of the flow and say nothing. Okay, it's gonna be a long read, dear Lord. I'm gonna have to filter a little bit through it, but there's the introduction that says, do you yearn to find your way, to fulfill your divine destiny, to know the purpose of your presence within the sacred body of the Earth Mother? Your heart is questing for deeper meaning. It desires certainty as to your sacred tasks for this lifetime. Your heart wants to know why you were born, for what purpose. You must know that the answer to these questions is love. I bring your answer straight from the heart of the universe. Be wild within your passion. Do that which steers your soul even when it makes you uncomfortable. Especially then, for what is being truly alive if not the decision to be open instead of resistant, to be wild rather than comfortable, so that at any moment we will be ready for the invitation of the Divine Beloved to come closer. So, as we grow on the spiritual path, so does our ability to serve life, to serve love, to honor humanity, and to offer a contribution that is unique to us, that could only flow in this particular way through the quality of your own soul light. Every light holds its own beauty, and every light has a particular task to fulfill on the divine path of life. To help us remember this, lest we get too easily distracted by the pain and stress that happens in life, we were given an inbuilt reminder. That reminder is our passion. We may think that passion is not particularly practical. We may feel fearful that with passion there are no guarantees of success, or that we may even be throwing away a stable and secure life to pursue our passion. These are the fears of many a modern society, yet they are so misplaced. Life supports all beings based on their true nature. The birds are given air in which to fly, and the fish are given water in which to swim. Plants are given light of the open plains, blah, 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 you understand. So it is with humanity. Each aspect of creation is given what is required so that it may become what it is meant to be, for its unique destiny to be fulfilled. So it is with humanity. Each one of us has something in our hearts that means something to us. It is irrelevant whether it seems practical or a recipe for success or not. We are simply meant to be what we are, to serve life faithfully from a place of honoring the truth of our nature, that which we genuinely feel passionate about, and to allow for life to naturally support growth according to our genuine nature. Where we get into difficulty is not bringing our genuine passions to life, for life supports this, but in learning to let go of attachment as to how that happens. We can struggle to free ourselves from the expectation we have to be something we are not. The divine path of love asks us to become conscious of and then unlearn the play acting of attempting to be a false self, so that we may learn to simply love and accept our real self. We may even have a struggle on our hands to remember who our real self actually is for a time. Fortunately, there is pleasure in the journey of returning to passion that can make the process of self-discovery a sweet one. But we must be brave, even in the sweetness of that journey back to the real self. We must dare to believe that we are not broken, that we are not inadequate, or better off to be like some other person, or some other person's view of how they think we should be. We must be brave enough to not believe in the layers of guilt and shame. We must be bold enough to not fear our passion. As we dive deep within and explore what really makes us tick, what makes us feel alive, we must be open, curious, and non-judgmental. That may be a subtle journey at first. We may feel as though we are looking in the dark, wondering if we will ever catch a glimpse of the light of passionate meaning we are hoping to find. This oracle comes to you with guidance. You are being initiated more deeply in your life purpose. Your passion will reveal itself to you with more depth, nuance, and beauty than ever before. If parts of your life are disassembling or do not seem to be working out as you have planned, these are symptoms of this passionate revelation. Be curious and open to what presents itself in the wake of the falling away. Be ready for the journey within now. You are strong enough to leave behind the need for external validation, whilst you learn to validate yourself. In time, soon enough in fact, you will reveal your innermost beauty and be witnessed and received, acknowledged for your innate value, purpose, and divinity. But for now, dive deep, be defiant and determined to honor your heart, so your deep passion may be witnessed by you and eventually, naturally, make its way into sacred expression into the world. Alright, so yeah, here we go. It's a lot about finding out your passion. It's a lot about the fears that can block us from even believing that it's possible, or that it's worth it, or that we're not crazy. Especially with this card here, you may think your experience may be quite out there. And it's very easy to maybe think of yourself, am I being crazy? Am I completely gone here, out there? And as I said, you can really put yourself down with that, rather than build a nurturing environment for yourself to discover what it is what your path is. And hey, it's not an easy one, especially when we have pressure to pay the bills, especially when we have pressure to perform, to be someone, to fit in society in a way or another. It's not easy. But you can take grounded step towards understanding your passion whilst you're doing other things to sustain yourself, without giving yourself this venom. All right, let's read the venom. That's number, I think that's 43. I don't know what LX is. 50. I never went that far with the Roman. All right. Got you. So the venom, the poison, the curse, the toxin. Much to our dismay, the venom is always lurking in the shadows in one form or another. Its toxic presence may be found in our relationships, thoughts, speech, or environment. Thankfully, the cycle of purification and detoxification comes so naturally that it is built into our every exhale. We breathe out carbon dioxide and the plants return it to us as oxygen. Archetypal venom is rarely remedied as easily, however, and it can come in potent forms and quantities that are deeply damaging to us and to the world. When the venom card appears, there is a harmful substance in your psychic realm that must be identified. Perhaps your words have a sting of poison about them. Perhaps the relationship is slowly draining your reserves. Acknowledgement is the first step. Change is the second. The remedy will reveal itself in time, and with it forgiveness. When light, self-realization through suffering. When dark, unwillingness to find a solution or forgive. So yeah, the way I see this is like it's the part of yourself that puts you down. Like the inner critic, the inner bully sometimes. Oh, that voice that tells us, how dare you think you could do that? Who do you think you are? And that can be very dark. That can go very venomous, and we turn against ourselves. We turn against ourselves for everything, and then with that energy we spill into the world as well with a little bit of venom. Okay, let's go to this one, the Bardo. If I find it, there you are. And this one says the liminal, the in-between, the transition. It is said that the bardo is a place between this life and the next, a liminal realm through which souls pass. Envisioning this inherently mysterious space creates the potential for us to rise above the concerns of this world and see our relationships through a cosmic and timeless lens. We may receive messages from those who are no longer with us or see visions of lives not yet lived. In the bardo there is potential to forgive the unforgivable, to say the unsaid, to see the unseen, to love the unloved, to let go of all the things that cause us pain. The bardo suspends us in its spaciousness for just long enough to open us to higher wisdom. Its energy does not belong to earth as we know it, but rather to the cosmic network of which we are a single thread. When light, spaciousness, grace, forgiveness, truth. When dark, torment, dislocation, hallucination, transience. When dark, when the venom comes through, when the part of you that rejects this pretty extraordinary experience and gift that you may have, then you may feel tormented, dissociated, like you're hallucinating, and you could dismiss that at just that. Maybe I'm mentally sick, maybe I'm I don't know, maybe I'm having and both these cards speak about forgiveness. I think it's really mandatory for you to recognize where that voice is, what is saying, what is the belief that you're holding, and to bring forgiveness to that aspect of yourself. And whatever voice you've internalized as a child, your mother, father, parent figure, teacher, whoever bullied you into, whenever you thought you could see something, or you brought certain wisdom that was made them insecure, forgive them too, because that is the key to moving on. And it's a process. Forgiveness is a process, not going to happen overnight. We may want to forgive just like that, but it doesn't really go like that, right? It takes time, but just having the intention already to forgive and to bring kindness to this part of yourself that ends up being a bit toxic. Knowing that this part of you is really trying to protect you, right? It wants to keep you down, put you down, because it believes this is safe. It is misguided and it needs to be released, right? But the way we can release this pressure is by identifying this voice and bringing it comfort, not telling it like, hey, I am safe. Here, feel the feeling of safety within me and bring safety to that part of yourself, so that it doesn't have to go in these extreme ways to shame you, to blame you, to Now, it's very important. Don't take this as it fits your story. Now, it's not saying, like, none of this story is saying, like, quit your job now and go out there and become a medium or become whatever it is that this bardo opens up. It's this in-between space that you can access, apparently. But do open yourself up towards it. Open yourself up to your gift. Don't shut yourself down. Don't shame yourself. There is joy as you open yourself to your true self and you start accepting that. Okay, let's see what's in the recent past that's influencing this. So, you may have done one too many meditation retreats. No. But you may have ventured internally quite a lot. You may have gone into this dreamy energy where you done I mean, dreams had been strong for you and influencing you. Maybe everything can feel a little bit eerie and dreamy, and no surprise if you're bridging into this in-between space, which is hard to define. It's not important necessarily to define, but rather to explore and to map it down yourself. And it's about learning both the light and the dark in here, and it's about processing that information that comes from this meditative, eerie, dreamy space. What now? What's the energy now? Okay. The star just flipped for a little bit, but went back, and the Knight of Swords, I think. We have the Moon. Goodness, person. Are you psychic or what? It's a lot of watery. This is Pisces, this is Cancer, but in other decks it's also considered Pisces. It's very, very like this Piscean, Neptunian energy, breaching between the conscious and the unconscious. And it's about facing the fears that come up with that and ground yourself. This is very important. That's why this all comes in red. You need to get really grounded so you can support this process. Otherwise, that's where the terror comes in, because you feel like you're getting lost, and it's not easy. It's not easy. All right, let's see what's coming in the near future. Success. There you go. There you go. There's this is actually beyond just success. This is validation. And I remember that this card just said that, hey, don't look for outside validation, learn to validate yourself, and then the world will start seeing that. If you are turning against yourself, and if you're feeding into this venomous aspect that's just telling you you're crazy or you're insane, then the battle is lost, and you can't rely on outside validation. You need to sort out the truths, the internal truths for yourself, and that's that the energy of the High Priestess can help you here. Keep up this practice of meditating, of grounding, on staying present, and bring this inner validation to yourself through discernment. Discern, as I said, through this spirit of exploration, and use your wisdom to discern what makes sense and what doesn't. And it's very important, like, okay, not to give in to this voice that says we're nothing, we're no one, we can't do anything, we're crazy, we should just stop, give up, and do whatever the fuck everybody else is doing. But also, it's very important to not get lost in this megalomaniac type of energy. I am Jesus reincarnated, here I am to change the world, and so on and so forth. Be careful not to get lost in this messiah complex as well. You are different, you have a gift for sure. It's up to you to nurture that, and you will find eventually the people that can help you along this journey, and that can support you and validate your story as you internally start validating yourself. All right, let's see what's the advice for you. I didn't see that. Something popped. But okay. Advice, the 10 of Pentacles. That's very interesting, especially as I see this card. It's like also creating a safe space for yourself, right? And it's Pentacles, it's the again very grounded energy, creating a safe space in a physical realm where you can explore, where you feel anchored in the earth as you go explore these realms. Ten of Pentacles can also hint at, look at traditions, what traditions are out there that can help you in the sense, if you can find like in your own, wherever you're coming from in the world, there is a tradition that speaks of other worlds or dreams or psychic or medium stuff. It doesn't necessarily mean that you have to take it for granted. Like everything that says there should be there, but you can find information that you can then assimilate and help you use it in your modern style, in your own way. Whether it's shamans or magic or whatever tradition, it can be your family tradition. Maybe there's something in your family that you need to explore and discover. Maybe this is passing on, and maybe you find out your grandma had the same experiences, or your grandpa, or whoever, and you can learn from that. I think most important is to keep yourself really grounded, really into this very physical realm. Ten of Pentacles is also hints at abundance and success. So I think there is this encouragement to move forward with whatever feels really right for you. What is your passion? What is your talent? Come through with it, because it will bring it this abundance, this physical realm about abundance, and a way for you to build your legacy, to leave behind your contribution to this world. All right, pile number 3. I hope you resonated with this reading. If you did, please like, share, subscribe. I hope to see you here next time. And yeah, it's actually one of the lightest reading. The other two were pretty heavy. I'm very excited for you. I know it's not easy to work with the Venom energy, but it is possible. You can do it, and it will bring you great fortune and validation and abundance and so on and so forth. Lovely. See you here soon. Have a great new year, actually.